Call him brash, brilliant, incredibly successful. Doug Moe is just a legend in the Denver sports community, but also really in the Colorado community. Of course, he was a hugely successful coach with the Denver Nuggets, but we want to talk a little bit more about the man. And that's why Ron Zappolo is joining us now. I know you worked here, you worked at Channel 4, you did radio. Ron worked at Fox
Doug's
31.
TV show for a while. It might have been the most fun I've ever had.
That's what we were going to ask about. You did a TV show with
Did a TV show with Doug, and it was I never thought that we could do one, and Roger Ogden used to work here. We sold it, and we would get on, and Doug would have all these big-name NBA coaches, and he'd cut them to shreds. Just cut them to shreds, and that was Doug. And your intro, Kim, was great because, if you think about Doug, and I've thought a lot about Doug today, and I've cried a lot. I'm not going to cry here. I'm not going to cry here.
Thank you for coming in. It's been hard.
I'll tell you, if you consider how successful he was as a coach, how unique an individual, how colorful he was, and how kind he was, I would say that Doug was the most important and likable sports figure we've ever had in Denver.
Wow.
I really do, and I put him above everybody else because he was here before the Elway, before the Broncos got good, before Dan Reeves. Doug put us on the map and made us big time in basketball. And then not only that, he was so different.
Yeah.
If Doug liked you, you were a stiff. If he really liked you, you were a no-hoper. And if he just loved you, you were a dip. And he was the king of the dips. And I could tell you a million stories. And I told you just a minute ago, I've cried a lot today. Tomorrow, Doug would want me to laugh, so I'll laugh tomorrow.
And you said tomorrow you're going to call up
I'm going to call
as
friends.
many friends of Doug.
I'm going to call some friends of Doug who are friends of mine, and I'm going to get on the phone and make myself feel better and just tell one of hundreds of stories about Doug that I could Doug was so we were in Dallas once for a playoff game. Hanslick won it with a jumper. It was a Saturday afternoon game, and my folks lived in Dallas. And so Doug decided we were all going to go to my folks for a barbecue on the pool. So Doug and his assistant coach and Chopper Travellini and a couple players, we all go out there. He had never met my parents, and he just charmed them to death. And we get ready to go, and he gives my father a hug, and he says, "You're such a nice man. How could you have had a dip you-know-what like this kid?"
Such a character. His nicknames.